Hello and welcome to Reach Customers Online with Google. This is Dave Meyer, and I am a national speaker and trainer for Google. Delighted to have you with us today so that we can start talking through how to help you grow your business online. I'm going to stop the presentation just a second so that you can see me and the man behind the curtain. So nice to see you all today here. And again, I'm Dave with Google. And I am the owner of a digital marketing agency in Minneapolis. And I've been a speaker with Google's Get Your Business Online program for almost a year now. So super excited to have you with us. And let's get down to business. I'm just going to screen share one more time. And we'll talk through how you can reach your customers online with Google. So here's a couple of tidbits as we get ready. First, you'll notice on the screen that there's a way to ask questions. And I'm going to offer you the ability to ask those questions a couple times during today's event. But if you do have something specific that you'd like to see covered or that we don't get a chance to cover today, because there is a lot of content today that I'd like to get you through, I just want to share with you how to reach us. So you can connect with us from the live video screen today. And there's a chat window inside of here. So right here it says say something. And if you click on that say something, you can ask us questions right via that event or right via that window. And I'm actually going to pause this so it doesn't confuse you. But if you want to ask questions, just go into that say something. Or as I mentioned up here, you can send a note to dave@busyweb.com and I'll help you with anything that you might need. So that out of the way, let's get down to business and talk through how you can reach your customers online with Google. So here we go. And just wanted to start with a quick video. So let's go in here and I'll just press play and make sure that we can hear this as we go. And it's not going to cooperate. Actually, here I'm going to unmute. And then let's see if that'll work. Well, it's a beautiful video. There's lots of music. There's nothing actually in the background on here, so you can kind of see the different ways that marketing can impact your life as a business owner. So these are all of the different ways that you can use Google search and or as a business that you can create great interactions and micro moments with your customers. Whether you're at a beach, whether you're dealing with a minor hair emergency, or whether you're the business owner that provides those services, this is the way that Google can help you to grow your business. So right now, people all over the world are trying to make the most of every moment, and micro moments can help you to grow your business. So I am going to click on here and escape. And we're going to go back. Actually going to refresh this page so that we can go into the actual screen here. This video always gives us fits. Here we go. All right, so as I covered in the video and as we looked at things, we're going to help you with three big things today. We're going to help you get found by local customers, and I'm going to show you the details on how you can create an engaging relationship via Google My Business. Google My Business is a suite of tools that can help you grow your online business using some specific tools. So we're going to go through that a little bit, and then we're going to talk through how to get found everywhere on all devices by helping you with some tools that'll help you optimize your website for website search, and of course, most importantly, for mobile devices. And then we're going to help you get found with online advertising. There's some great advertising tools that Google offers, of course, and we're going to cover how some of those work inside of today's talk. All right, so first, how to get found by online local customers. Every month, there are billions of local searches made for businesses like restaurants, clothing stores, and hotels. And this helps millions of consumers discover and share new and exciting places. Research shows that people are more concerned with their need in the moment than any particular brand. As you saw, if your daughter had gotten access to a scissors and she had started hacking away her beautiful locks, you want to know where you can find a hairdresser, and you might not have a particular affiliation with a specific hairdresser. You just need to find whoever you can connect with right now in the moment. So let's talk about the first thing that you can do right now to help your visitors get found, or help you get found by local searchers. Google My Business. So Google My Business can help you in those moments that matter. And I mentioned before that a lot of smartphone owners tend to search for moments or for customers in moments of need. And in fact, 87% of folks will just grab their phone, and 30% of all of those searches are related to a specific location. So those searches near me. If you did some online shopping research, you might have started by reading online customer reviews. So perhaps you did some price shopping or compared shipping costs or warranties. All of that stuff is available inside of a simple Google My Business listing. The way this looks in day-to-day practice is you identify a need. So you can connect up and you find information about products and services at that exact moment. So in step one, you have a question. Step two, you're going to run a search. And so you're going to grab probably your mobile device now, and you're going to get found online inside of that Google search. So in this case, when someone searched for Stasia's Bakery, the Stasia's Bakery screen popped up, and then you want to have an easy transition between that search result and your website to help people connect and make that next step and choose who they're going to work with. You need to have a beautiful website that's going to give people the next steps that they need to take in order to do business with you. That's probably trust factors, it's probably location, it's probably hours and connections, but there's a lot of things that you can do to help grow your business using these tools. So Google My Business is available at gybo.com/business. And if you look in the right corner here where the arrow is pointing, that is where the Google My Business listings live. And you're probably going to want to try this. So grab your website or your business name and just type it into Google. If something shows up in the upper right corner, just like it does for Stasia's Bakery, that means that you have a Google My Business listing. Now, you may not have claimed that listing yet. And if you haven't, we're going to share with you a couple of steps on how to do that. One of the main reasons that I'm out speaking to as many people as I do for Google is that as many as 80% of all folks have not yet claimed their Google My Business listing. This is an important thing to capture and connect, because without owning your Google My Business listing, you really don't have a great way to make sure that you're responding appropriately to the reviews that you're looking for, to list your hours, to list where you're located. And so as you show up inside of those Google search results, you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. So once you set up Google My Business, you will claim your listing if it doesn't already have something listed inside of that. And so if you search for your business and either it doesn't show up with your listing, and then you're going to want to claim it at gybo.com/business or create one. If you have one, or if you see your login information, you're probably already all set up. But if you have that information, you still probably need to optimize it, because there's a lot of stuff that happens inside of Google My Business. And I'll share with you a little bit more. The way Google My Business works is information appears wherever people are searching. So Google My Business works on all platforms and across all devices. Mobile is especially important. This mobile world has been steadily on the rise. More than half of all web traffic now comes from smartphones and tablets. Recent data has shown that out of the more than 1 trillion searches that happened last year, more than 50% or over half of those, so let's say 550 billion searches, were over mobile devices. So it's a great way to connect. And if you don't spend enough time making sure that your website and your listings are all optimized when people have that immediate need, you're going to be missing out on business. So again, go to gybo.com/business to get started. In order to make the most out of your Google My Business listing, you'll go through the steps in order to claim and optimize your listing. And we have a separate event that we're going to be doing in about a month that's going to walk you through how to set up Google My Business. So hang on for that. Or you can search Google My Business at the BusyWeb website, and we have a tutorial on how to set that up right available from inside of that page. But you want to make the most of your listing by including as much information as you can. You want to list your hours of operation. If you have special hours, Labor Day is coming up in the United States. And so you want to have special hours listed for that if you're not open or if you're having special hours. Even if you don't have different hours, you want to make sure and log that inside of the Google My Business tool, because it'll show up in a nice pretty green if you have claimed and said what your hours are. And if you haven't, on Google Maps and on online searches using Google, when you get into the Google My Business listings, it'll say this company's opening, or this company might not be open today on that special day, on Labor Day, for example, because of the special holiday. So if you log in and you tell Google that you are open or what your special hours are, you're going to have much better results. And it's a higher trust if you see a nice green listing that says this company is open, this organization is open during these times. For businesses that want to show off their storefront, there's lots of opportunities. You can post all kinds of beautiful pictures. You can upload a 30-second video that can give a brief tour, or of course, you can connect with a trusted photographer, a Google trusted photographer, to take a 3D tour of your business and load that into your settings. In order to engage with customers, you also have a few options inside of Google My Business. Posts is a new feature for Google My Business that allows merchants to post live updates directly on their Google Business listing. Posts allow you to communicate in new ways with potential customers, to share information, encourage reservations, promote an email newsletter, buy products, and much more. Posts appear in your Google listing on search and maps. So even if someone's searching on Google Maps on their Android device, you're going to show up and you'll be able to see those posts. And perhaps if you're a restaurant, you can see what the menu of the day item is, or you can see for your service business what's happening, and you can post an interview with a delighted client, for example. So you can see how posts are influencing potential customers by reviewing their activity from the Google My Business dashboard, and that's inside of the Insights section. Messages allows you to chat directly with customers who find your business listing on Google search. Especially for younger folks, they expect to be able to text or message you even more than they want to call. So if you want to respond to customers and answer questions, tell your business story, and attract more people to your location, you can turn on messaging with customers by signing into Google My Business and looking for the messaging card under that home menu. This works via an anonymized service. Google Voice is the tool that we use to create a anonymized link. So if you're texting back and forth with someone over the messaging tool, you're not actually sharing your personal cell phone number. This is an anonymized number that's unique to your Google My Business listing. And so people can connect and interact. One word of caution, if you do offer the messaging tool on your Google My Business listing, you'll want to make sure that someone's actually staffing that listing and that they're responding to those messages, because if someone's messaging you, they expect to be able to connect back with you. And then, of course, reviews. This is one of the things that business owners as I've across the country have had the most concern with. But once your Google My Business listing is verified, you have the option to read and respond to reviews about your business published on Google. Business owners often ask me about negative reviews, such as how to remove them. Google will not remove a review unless it violates a content policy. Examples of content policy violations include obviously false information, anti-competitive information, or something including hate speech or inflammatory things. Now, that's very narrow, and there's a good chance that even though you're not happy with a specific review, that you won't be able to take it down. If that is included, or if you have that experience, the best way to handle this is to simply transparently respond inside of the Google My Business review page. So you can see under Stuart's review here, it says view and reply. You can reply to Stuart's review. And of course, you want to thank people that offer positive reviews as much as you want to respond to negative reviews. But as you connect, it's simply not an option to bury your head in the sand and ignore reviews. If people see a lot of negative reviews, they're going to assume that those reviews are true. If you respond to those reviews and share your side of the story, but also just thank that customer or that reviewer for their review and ask them if you can take that connection offline to solve the issue, that's usually a much better way to connect. And it shows to people that are searching your business and that see those reviews that there's a real human being that can help them and interact. The timeliness and professionalism of responses demonstrates your business acumen and how you listen to feedback that can positively influence potential customers even on negative reviews. Here's an example of a great company that's using Google My Business, Pie Junkie, out of Oklahoma City. Leslie and Darcy are moms, and they say, we know from customers that's how they find us. And fortunately for us, there's an easy map that will guide them to our business because we're a tiny shop located in a tricky, hard to find spot. If your business is one of the few that has an issue getting found on Google Maps, Google My Business can help you relocate that pin. You can drag it to the right side of the road, or you can offer up images or additional context to help you get found. We're right next to the laundromat, or we're right around the corner from the church. Whatever those things are, you can connect and offer that feedback to help your business get found. So that's Google My Business. Now let's talk about the second thing you can do to market your business online, and that's to build and optimize a business website. The goal should be to get you found by searchers everywhere, no matter where they're searching or from what device they're using. Start by asking yourself, why are you creating a website for your business? As I mentioned at the beginning, I own a digital marketing agency, and we work with our clients all the time on answering this specific question. You may want to build your company's brand. You may want to generate sales, make additional connections or leads. If you're a business-to-business organization, you may want to re-engage existing customers, attract new employees, and of course, much, much more. So as you answer that question about why you want a website, then you can focus on who you're trying to connect with. Your marketing persona or your sales persona is an anonymized version of your best customers that outlines really what makes them tick, what they're interested in, why they're interacting with you, what services you provide to that kind of customer, and where they hang out online. Are they involved, or do they interact with a number of social media networks? Do they just search for your product or service? Do they get recommendations or reviews as they're looking for your business? And then, of course, as you figure out who you're trying to reach, you can write specifically to that person. What I like to tell folks that are confused or worried about how on earth they're going to write an engaging post in their Google My Business listings, for example, is write up an anonymized version, saying, for my example, Marketing Mary, and write a letter to Marketing Mary. Just say, hey, Mary, and post something that you do that can help Mary to grow her business or to do what she needs to do in order to be a successful customer of yours, right? So you'll know how to connect with them, and then you have to measure success. So measuring success might not be the amount of hits that your website gets. It's probably not the amount of likes that you get on social media or the amount of reposts or retweets, but it's probably how many times people ask you questions or how many times people show up at your door. How many sales you make is the ultimate goal of an organization. If you're a nonprofit, it's probably how many people you help. But think about what that measurement is of success, and then walk back from that ultimate goal, making more money or helping more people, to what people need to do along the steps of their buyer's journey in order to connect with you, in order to be successful. You'll come up with something that's measurable, and it's probably increased form fills. It might be online orders. If you're a company that sells things online, it might be new connections or registrations for an event, like the event that you're attending with us today. But whatever it is, make sure that you're measuring, because if you're not measuring, you're not truly marketing. Search engine optimization could be an entire separate presentation. And as a matter of fact, I've had a bunch of different presentations on SEO, or search engine optimization. So you can search the BusyWeb website for that if you want more information. Organic results, of course, show up under the listings for ads inside of the search. So if you do any search, there's the Google headings, and then there's the different categories of kinds of search results. There's paid listings that show up at the top, and then ads, which we'll talk about in a moment, show up with the little ad icon next to them. The organic listings, or the listings that you get without paying for them, are the ones that show up underneath those ads. There's always one within the first screen, and whether you're on a desktop, such as on the left, or on a mobile device, such as on the right, your listings will show up inside of search results. So this is the way to get optimized to show up as highly as possible inside of search results. So here's a few tips to organize your website so that Google will rank it as highly as possible. There are several hundred ranking factors, so there's no one silver bullet inside of ranking your business and getting to the top of search engine results. However, here's some guidelines. First, organization matters. It not only helps your human visitors, having a properly organized website that flows in the way that your customers expect will help your users and Google understand the content of your website. Your heading of your website needs to have your business listed. The meta titles and descriptions are the things that show up in the listings. A meta title shows up underneath this listing. So Stage's Bakery, the Ultimate Celebration Cakes, that's a meta title. We ship everywhere, call us today. The little text underneath that, that's a meta description. So you want to list meta titles and descriptions. You want to have your content organized semantically. Your website shouldn't be a virtual Where's Waldo. It needs to give people what they're looking for as quickly as possible when they're searching for something. In order to make sure that you rank well, you also need to have original content. You can't just post content that you found elsewhere on the web. That's troublesome for a number of reasons, sometimes including copyright. But if something's posted in many places, or if you subscribe to a service to get content, Google has no context on how to know what should be ranked, or more importantly, than all of the other places that content is listed. So your best bet is always to have original content. I'm talking about useful, information-rich, clear, and accurate content. Include keywords that users would type to find your pages, your product, and services, and make sure that your site includes those words. This isn't rocket science. All you need to do is make sure that your website serves and has those words and phrases that match what people are searching for. Always lead with your most important information. If your goal is to get people to call your business, keep your phone number prominent. Bulleted lists can help make your text more readable. And while there's no rule of thumb, the more frequently you update your website, the more likely it will be to appear in search engine results. A good rule of thumb is you should plan to update your website approximately weekly. And you don't have to do hundreds of hours worth of work on your website every week. Making a simple blog post of maybe 200 to 300 words that has keywords that match the key phrases that people are searching in Google can get you a long ways towards showing up when it matters most for your business. For links, especially in the navigation, use text. If it's an image, you need to include the relevant alt tag. And an alt tag is simply telling Google and third-party content readers what the image is. So if your image is simply, image002.jpg, Google has no idea what that is. So make sure that it includes the key phrases in that image alt text so that Google knows that this is a picture of your product or your service, etc. Good page titles and descriptions inside of the title tag and alt attribute elements should be descriptive, specific, and accurate, and should also be as short as possible because, as a general rule, titles need to be under 70 characters and descriptions need to be under about 140 to 160 characters. Keep it short. You want to optimize your load time. Make sure that you're on a fast web server. Make sure that your images are as compressed as possible while still looking good. And just set up so that there's not a bunch of tools and information on your website that people have to download in order to interact with it. Simple is better in search engine optimization. This is where some of the drag and drop website builders, such as I won't even list the different tools, but there's a lot of things where you can just drag and build your website. A lot of times those drop a lot of heavy code into the back end of the site, whether it's JavaScript or other things that slow down the website because the website has to load all of that stuff in order to display your website the way that you intend. So make sure that you have that connected. Imagery can have an incredibly important influence on the success of your site, and every business should have imagery on its site. Here's some basic tips on images. They should be clear and focused. They should look right in the overall website design. It's almost better to use real photos rather than stock imagery. And please don't do Google image searches in order to find imagery because most of the images that you find in Google's image searches are copyrighted. If you buy images from stock photography places, that's fine, but you want to use an image service of some sort in order to grab your content, in order to grab those images. Make sure that you own the copyright or that you're using appropriately licensed Creative Commons images in order to grow your website's beauty. Before you add an image to your site, you might want to search that image and or just make sure that you don't have specific legal blocks in order to using that image. Digital images have two types of sizes. One's called the file size, and that's how heavy that image is and how long it takes to download that image onto your computer or onto your mobile device. A larger file size can mean a higher quality image, but the trade-off is that it takes longer for a web page to load a bigger file. File size is measured in bytes. 1 kilobyte, or KB, is 1,000 bytes, and 1 megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, and as we go up. So depending on the speed of a visitor's internet connection, and this is particularly troublesome over 3G connections on mobile devices, it can take quite a while to download an image. So you want to make sure that you've got as compressed and as small of an image as possible. For example, a megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, as I mentioned, but that can start to slow down web pages. If you use a digital camera or even your phone, your image size might, right out of the box, be many megabytes, 8, 10, 12, or more. In this case, you should definitely use software to shrink that image down. The second image size refers to the physical dimensions of an image. For the web, dimensions are measured in pixels. Without getting too technical, you can make an image smaller, but if you make the dimensions of a small image bigger, if you try to stretch it out, that image is going to appear blurry or pixelated on that page. When you're looking for images on your website, you need to use one of the following formats: JPG, GIF, or PNG. So you can get other photo or other image file types like EPS, PSD, TIF, but none of those will work on a website downloaded over a mobile device or over a web browser. So JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs are your way to go. In general, JPEGs, JPGs are for photos of people or landscapes. Any real photography is generally best done as a JPG, and you just want to compress that image as much as possible without having it look blurry. GIFs, GIFs, or PNGs, PNGs, those are best for graphics. So it might be your logo, it might be a screenshot of a specific pie chart or something like that. Those, again, should be as compressed as possible, and the image editing tools that you use will help guide you on those. But in general, you should probably keep your images definitely under a megabyte, but I like to shoot for 100 kilobytes or so, 100 KB. So that's usually the threshold at which you can download all of the images on a site pretty quickly. Google Search Console can help you monitor and maintain your website's presence in Google's organic search results. Here's a few things that you can do with Google Search Console. You can make sure that Google can access your site, so you can check and see if there are any blocks or any issues that Google finds when it's reviewing your site or indexing. You can make sure that you can submit new content, and you can remove content that you don't want shown in search results. Perhaps if you had a event that you did a couple of years ago and it's still showing up highly in search results, or if you've changed product mixes and you don't want to rank anymore for a specific type of product, you can simply tell Google to please ignore that page. And of course, you can monitor your site for problems inside of Google Search Console. Search Console will show you how Google and therefore the world see your website. For example, you can see reports that tell you which queries caused your site to appear in search results, or what those keywords were that led to you showing up on the search, which websites link to your website, if your website works well on mobile devices, if it's mobile responsive, and there's a lot more. Console is free. You can access Google Console at google.com/webmasters. Content marketing is all about speaking to your prospects and your customers. Content can include any mix of text, images, and videos. Each business and industry has different needs when it comes to content. For instance, a realtor may use videos and images to get more face time with their prospective clients and show that they know the area. On the other hand, an attorney might use more text with a few images to discuss the types of services they provide in detail, again, from the perspective of their audience. Having a website that talks all about you is a great way to turn off potential visitors, because visitors want to know if you can handle what they need. So your website needs to be built and displayed from the perspective of your users. They're all thinking about what's in it for me. So answer what's in it for them to interact with you, to call you, and you're going to see better results via your content. A good mix of content will pique your visitors' interests, inform them about your company, and engage them about your products and services. Another great tool that you may want to consider when you're looking at how things are working or what the trends are in search results is Google Trends. Google Trends is a free web-based tool that shows the relative popularity of different keywords searched on Google over time. This data is presented on a graph on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 representing peak search volume. You can use Google Trend data to compare popularity of different words and phrases, determine the seasonality of different searches, see where searches happen geographically, and see related searches to the trends that you're looking for. In this example, we're searching for gluten-free. And so if I'm searching for gluten-free, perhaps if I'm Stasia's Bakery, I'm interested in what related keywords are doing, as well as how popular gluten-free is. And you can see in the blue line that gluten-free has been relatively popular. It peaked around July of 2013, and then it's been holding pretty much steady. However, vegan saw a pretty sharp spike recently, and so I would probably want to have more website content that relates to vegan in order to capture some of that additional search traffic. One word of caution with trends: you want to make sure that you do a little bit of research on your own to see what people are talking about and why those trends are interesting and exciting. For example, if my vegan content was spiking because somehow it became relevant that eating vegan causes cancer or something. Of course it doesn't. But if that's what the trend is, I probably don't want to feature vegan options on my menu. So you want to figure out what the context is of those search terms before you decide to add content that matches to take advantage of those trends. Anyway, go to google.com/trends to find out more. And then social media can also help drive traffic to your website and help you actively engage with your leads and prospects. Depending on the channel, you'll be using different types of content, varying from text to curated article links to images or videos. It might be short form, it might be long form, and it's probably designed for different kinds of people depending on the network. It's essential that you mix up your content strategy on social media to inform, entertain, engage, and promote. Remember that people on social media don't just want to be sold to. No one likes to be sold on social media, but we love to buy once we understand and are engaged with a product, service, or brand. So take advantage of social media's opportunities to connect with your prospects and customers. As a general rule, Facebook is pretty good for 30-somethings and up. Instagram tends a little bit younger, and it's mostly images. It's 100% images and videos. Snapchat tends younger as well. LinkedIn tends more corporate, as you would expect. And all of the other social networks, YouTube, any of the others you can post and connect with. The key is to know who your intended audience is, and then understand where they hang out online and do something inside of those networks to capture that search traffic and those search results. Email marketing is one of the unsung heroes of digital marketing. It's a form of direct marketing that allows you to send custom branded and professional looking email campaigns to a list of subscribers. This isn't just blasting emails out from your Outlook to everyone in the world. As a matter of fact, that backfires pretty quickly. The success of an email marketing program hinges on the integrity of your list and on making sure that you're sending content that's relevant to the people that are on that list. There's a short slang word for email that doesn't relate to the intended recipient. It's called spam. If you send information that isn't relevant or interesting to anyone, they're going to, at best, be annoyed or ignore, and at worst, they're going to remove you from the list or unsubscribe or mark your content as spam. For best practices, you should have a very clear subject line on your message. It's much better to have the 3 things you need to know to be successful for the end of summer versus August's newsletter, right? So August newsletter is boring and it doesn't tell you anything. 3 things you need to know is very engaging, and it gets right to the point of why you should take the time to open that message. You should have a clear call to action on your email. Within that first screen, tell people what to do next. You don't want to have 5 calls to action on an email, and instead you should have one thing that you're asking people to do. It should be subscribe today, give us a call, buy now, check us out, attend our event, whatever that is. Make sure that you're giving people one thing that you want them to do. It also needs to look fantastic on mobile devices. Again, the world has gone mobile. The #1 app on mobile devices is email. And so make sure that you're connecting and giving people what they need in a format that they can consume it in. If you haven't updated your email template in a long time, if you use an older tool or don't have a professional level email marketing tool, you may need to pinch and zoom in order to read the content on that email. If people can't read it, they're going to skip right over it and delete it. Make sure that your email is optimized for mobile devices. That means larger text. That means less imagery. That means very clear calls to action. And your content should be targeted and personalized for individual recipients. One of the cool things that you can do with email marketing is you can segment your lists into brand new buyers or older or younger, or whatever you know about that customer. You can give them content that directly relates to them because you know what they're interested in. If someone opens a message from you, that's a signal that they're interested in the content of that email. So send them more of the same. And then, of course, make sure that you're spending time on correct spelling and grammar, that you have a great design, that you're spending time on it. Unless you're a preschool, I would avoid Comic Sans or those marker type fonts. And especially if you're B2B or a business to business kind of business, you want to focus and make your emails look a little bit more corporate. But don't be afraid to share your look, your feel, and your brand. If you have a lively and interesting kind of a feel at your company, don't be afraid to take advantage of that. Have a little fun, say fun things. Our tools inside of my company, we talk about bees and honey because the company's name is BusyWeb. So we have a little bit of fun with that. Over spring break this past year, we published something called Bees Gone Wild, and we talked about what the team members do when the bosses are away, for example. So have a little bit of fun, be engaging, be interesting, and of course, just match the tone that people expect. And then again, I go over this a lot, but don't forget about mobile. In general, your website, your emails, your social media needs to focus on being findable and being usable over 4-inch screens. So focus on the navigation and the homepage. Make sure that everything's very clear. Make it super easy to search your site by including a search box on the homepage of your website in mobile. Make it super easy to complete tasks. In particular, don't ask for too much fill in the blank content on forms. A, B, C, D, or drop downs are much better over mobile devices. Yes, no, or radio buttons are also very good. The key is only ask for the very minimum that you need to get people to the next step in your marketing, and then go from there. So making it very easy to fill out forms. And again, optimizing for usability, making sure that you have a clear and clickable phone number, make sure that your text is large enough and that it responds to the screen size. In general, if you have a PC or a online version or computer version of a website that has 3 columns across, the mobile version designed for a 4-inch screen would be a single column stacked on top. You might hide specific things, and you can do that inside of the mobile version over CSS, where you don't show that video that you have on your PC version. And you can just go right to what you're asking people to do. But very important to think about mobile devices as you move forward. And last but not least, when you're talking about mobile devices and in general, your website needs to be quick. Think about speed. For every second delay in a mobile page load, conversions can fall by up to 20%. If you're trying to put your website to the test, there's a free Test My Site tool at testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com. Testmysite.thinkwithgoogle will tell you how fast your website loads and what the estimated visitor loss is based on the speed of your website. And then it'll tell you some simple steps to take in order to improve that result. Keep in mind that it's not just the strength of the web connection that determines mobile speed, but also all of the elements on the web pages. If you have huge images, if you have heavy graphics or other tools on your website that requires a huge download of a JavaScript tool or something like that, that's going to slow things down. So Google will tell you at testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com the steps that you can take to move forward with more. And then reach more customers with social media. My name is Molly started her blogging life about life and food. She nurtured an audience, she helped get sponsors, and she uses YouTube. Today, since her humble beginnings, Molly's won numerous awards and accolades, including Forbes 30 Under 30 for food and drink in 2017. She's now a sought-after freelance food writer and has a published cookbook, Molly on the Range. Her social media channels, including YouTube, bring her experiences, recipes, and personality home to over 300,000 followers. She says, through generating a following on social media and traffic on my blog, I'm able to make a living. If that sounds like something you'd want to do, focus on making your website as useful as possible and get regular and useful content out to your visitors and customers. Finally, let's talk about how you can get found with online advertising. Using ads is sometimes referred to as search engine marketing. It's the act of helping you get found by paying to show up at specific times for specific keywords in specific physical locations. Ads will appear on Google, and as I mentioned before, they have the little green icon on them and text. If there are images across the top, those shopping ads can be promoted by online retailers. Text ads appear below. Ads are simply paid placements. Advertisers compete against each other, bidding in a real-time auction for the opportunity to show their ads on the search results page. Let's think back on the example of the micro moment, the time that we needed to find that kid's hair place fast. A local salon could display an ad when we did a search. For example, if it's emergency kids haircuts, you can find that list exactly when someone's searching, and you can make sure that it shows up. That's one reason online advertising is super effective. Ads are not randomly broadcasted, and they're just simply shown to potential customers who are already looking for you. It's important to note that advertisers are not charged when ads appear. They only pay if searchers click on an ad. That's why it's sometimes called pay-per-click marketing. Ads can also appear on partner websites, collectively known as the Google Display Network. Display Network includes millions of websites, including Google websites like Gmail and YouTube. The Display Network helps advertisers show ads after a Google search when people are consuming relevant content. You've probably noticed this when you're searching for a lawnmower or some specific product, that all of a sudden that lawnmower, that search that you made, starts showing up on all of your pages or on a number of your pages as you're browsing the news or as you're browsing on e-commerce websites. That network of ads are displayed when it makes sense based on criteria like the content of the page that you're viewing, as well as your demographic information. Display Network provides access to a wide range of customers and allows advertisers to showcase products and services at different points in the buying cycle. Before advertising, it's important to define your goals. This is going to help you shape your strategy from the ads you write or design to the web page or phone number that you send people to. If you don't have a goal, there's no way to measure where your investment is helping your business. As I mentioned before, if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. And it's even more important when you're spending active money to make sure that what you get from those ads is going to contain or include an ROI or a return on investment. When you create your ad, think about how you can make your ad stand out. Include compelling details and reasons for people to choose your ad over another business. Read other ads and try to make yours better. Include a call to action, helping people understand what they should do next. It also needs to drive people or link people to a set landing page designed to help people get to the next step in the purchase process. Again, if you're an e-commerce website, super easy to go to that next step because it's just the shopping cart. But if you're a business-to-business service, such as an accountant or a lawyer, you want to get people to perhaps fill out a form that lists their goal, their information, what they're looking for, so that you can connect out with them proactively and get them to the next step. Once you write a compelling ad, you take advantage of another feature of online advertising, controlling where those ads are displayed. If you have a product that you can ship anywhere in the US, you might advertise to the entire country. If, however, you're a local business, the product is heavy, and you don't want to do anything other than local delivery, you might want to restrict the ads to the area that you're willing to deliver that product to. We'll finish where we began, with goals. Once you have the pieces put together to present a compelling advertisement targeting the audience you want, you of course want to make sure that that's working. Google Ads Include reports that can show you how people interact with your advertisements. Connecting your advertising accounts with software like Google Analytics can help you see an even more complete picture of the effectiveness of your advertising campaigns. AdWords can be an incredibly powerful way to connect and reach out. You can go to gybo.com/awexpress to give it a shot. You simply choose a category, write an ad, decide where to display ads, set a budget, and launch. Hit the phone number 855-607-0426 if you'd like additional help. It's very simple, and it's not going to take long for you to get up and get set. One key thing that I would encourage you to do is to limit your budget, especially on the first go round. You want to test small before you start going big, and make sure that you're doing small and leveraged bets. Google Analytics, as I mentioned, can help you take even more knowledge into your buyer's journey and your buyer's process. This is web analytics that will tell you how visitors found your site, what they did when they were on your site. It'll even show you a graphical representation of what happens. For example, if someone clicks on an ad and they go to your content page for the service that you're advertising, they probably, via Google Analytics, you'll find out that they visited your About Us page from there. They searched for your people, and then they went to the Buy Now or the Order Now, or they filled out a form. Google Analytics can also tell you how effective your content is as far as conversions. For example, if you're advertising for a product, Google Ads Insights will tell you how many people clicked on that ad, but then Google Analytics will tell you what happens after they clicked there. So maybe they clicked on the ad, they went to your homepage, but then they got to your page that you were listing or that you were linking to in your ads, and then they simply left without buying. Well, you can get more insight and information and fix that problem if you know what's happening. So if someone goes to a checkout page and then they abandon your shopping cart, you can make adjustments to make the buyer's journey or the buyer's process a little simpler. Maybe get them to a smaller next step. Maybe ask them to connect with you or give you a call. That's all information that you will learn after you start using Google Analytics. AdWords allows us to do a multitude of different things, such as finding volunteers, bringing in donations, and promoting our curriculum, says School on Wheels. It was founded as a program to connect tutors with homeless children in Indianapolis, and Google Ads helped that nonprofit grow. Today, they're at 400 volunteers tutoring kids in shelters and public schools with 21 employees. They've made small and effective investments in advertising to make sure that their content for School on Wheels shows up to the people that are looking, when they're looking, and nowhere else. So that wraps up the 3 things that you can do to help market your business online. You can use Google My Business, a search-friendly, mobile search-friendly website, and advertising. Once you put those steps into motion, you might want to check out the other tools that Google offers to market your business online. I've highlighted a few through this workshop. Here's a couple that you can get all on one page. So to wrap up today's session, we covered the 3 things that you can do right now to market your business online. You can get found by local customers using Google My Business, gybo.com/business. To get found everywhere on all devices, you're going to want to update your website to make sure that it's mobile responsive and focused on your customers. Try a combination of digital marketing channels to get found when people are searching. And then finally, if you need to make sure that you show up exactly when, where, and to whom you need to connect with, and you need to do it fast, online advertising is a fantastic way to promote your business and to make sure that you're getting to the people that you need to connect with exactly at the time that they're looking. In order to do all of this stuff, you need to have a Google account. You don't need to necessarily have a Gmail account, although Gmail is one of the ways to get a Google account. But you can use and register your company email as a Google account or some other service. The thing is, you need to make sure that you have a single account that you log into in order to manage this data and this information. Just go to google.com/accounts and it'll walk you through that. A word of caution, make sure that the business owner is the one that owns the Google account, or at least someone that's going to be with the organization a long time. You don't want to have an intern or someone that's only going to be with your business a short time responsible for the Google account. So you may want to just set up a joint email address that you use for your marketing, or of course, set that to your business ownership. And then you can have other managers get set up. So if you wanted to give an intern access to your Google accounts and have them help you update your information, owner would own it, and then owner would create either managers or users of that account. And then you can add or remove as the owner those people as you move forward. So again, google.com/accounts. Here's all of the resources that we talked about today. If you're looking for Google My Business, of course, that's at gybo.com/business. Google Partners is where you can find great people to connect with and to help you with all of this content, and that's at google.com/partners. You can get your Google account at Accounts. Google Search Console, where you can find your search engine results and get tips on how to show up even better online, is at google.com/webmasters. Google Trends, to take advantage of trends in Google searches, is at google.com/trends. The mobile-friendly test and the speed test is available at testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com. And then you can get information about advertising at gybo.com/awexpress. And Google Analytics, the tool to help you measure your effectiveness online, is available at google.com/analytics. If you have additional content or information, I would love to connect with you there. I don't see any questions that have showed up on today's page on the chat. If you do have questions, you can follow me up on chat, or of course, send a note to dave@buzzyweb.com. That's BIZZYWEB. That's all that I have for this afternoon. So thank you very much for joining us today. And I hope this helped you to get your business online. I'm Dave Meyer, and we'll see you next time. Keep your eyes peeled at buzzyweb.com/events. We have a number of these GYBO, Google Your Business, or Get Your Business Online events scheduled throughout the fall, or throughout late summer and fall. So please keep up with us at buzzyweb.com/events. Again, I'm Dave Meyer. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop screen sharing just so I can sign off officially. Thank you all very much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you soon. And remember, keep going and help your business grow by getting your business online. Thanks. Have a great day.